We're given that this is a geometric sequence and we want to find the 8th term. Now we have a general term formula for this. It's a sub n equals a1 times r to the n minus 1, where a1 is the first term in the sequence. We have that. R is a common ratio. We don't have it, but we can get it. And n, well, that's the term number, and we have that one. That's going to be 8. So let's get r. So we need to get r out of this. And to get r, since we know it's geometric, let's just do one division. Let's take a right term, like 1 over 20, divide it by the previous one, the one immediately previous to it. So this will give us 1 over 20 times 10 over 1. Well, this will just be 2. Not 2. This will be what? It would be, how about that? 1/2. All right? So r is equal to 1/2. Does it make sense? What if we take the first term, 1/5, multiply it by a half, we get a 1/10. 1/10 times a half, 1/20, and so on. All right, so what do we get here for a sub 8? A sub 8 is going to be a sub 1, which is 1/5, times r, which is 1/2 to the 8 minus 1. So this is 1/5 times 1/2 to the 7th. I'll do it right over here. So a sub 8 is equal to 1/5 times, this is 1 over 128. And now I'm going to get a sub 8 to be 1 over, now 5 times 128 is 640. In number 23, we want to find the sum of the first 5 terms, not just the 5th term, but the sum of the first 5. So we have a formula for this. The formula goes like this. S sub n is equal to, it's a fraction, it's a sub 1, the first term, times r, the common ratio to the n, minus 1, all over r minus 1. So what do we have? What do we need? Well, we have n, that's 5. I can use it there and there. We have a1, that's the first term, that's negative 1/2. We have to get r. So can you see how you're going to get from one term to the next? Now, if you're not sure, take the right term divided by the left term. So how about negative 1/8 divided by negative 1/4? Well, negative over negative is positive. So this will be 1/8 times 4 over 1, which is 1/2. Right? So r is equal to 1/2. So let's substitute in. S sub 5, the sum of those first 5 terms is going to be the first term, negative 1/2, times, all right, so this is going to be 1/2 to the n, and n is 5, minus 1, all over r, which is 1/2 minus 1. Let's just track that, be sure. a1, that's the first term, negative 1/2, times the quantity, r, which is 1/2, to the n, which is 5, right, 5 terms, and then minus 1, all over r, which is 1/2, common ratio, minus 1, right here. So let's simplify. This is going to be negative 1/2 times, now this is 1 over 32 minus 1, all over negative 1/2. This will give us negative 1/2. Now this is, let's write it like this. 1 over 32 minus 32 over 32, right? Just get a common denominator, all over negative 1/2. So now this becomes negative 1/2 times, now 1 minus 32 is negative 31 over 32 over negative 1/2. Now it looks to me like these 1/2s are going to cancel, and I think we're going to be left with, well, I need a parenthesis there, I think we're going to be left with this. S sub 5 is what? What's left? Just that negative 31 over 32? Negative, if I can get it to right here, negative 31 over 32.